What was your first impression of the art scene in the United States? Why did you ever want to sell your artwork when you were a kid? Art is not meant to address political issues. Welcome to Life After History podcast. Did you know that USSR consisted of 15 countries? What happened to 286 million people after USSR suddenly collapsed? Where did the 70 years of repression go? Look, I might not have answers to all of these questions, but I do offer insights into key topics such as politics, culture, and in today's episode, art. I have a very special guest with me today, Sergey Gordienko. Hi, Sergey. How you doing?
Best day ever.
Awesome. It's also a Saturday.
Yeah, sure. I mean, doesn't really mean like anything to me. Like every day is a beautiful day.
Every day is a good day.
Yeah.
I love that. So let me introduce Sergey to you guys. Sergey, also known as Do What You Love artist. He is a multidisciplinary visual artist with 20 plus years of experience. He's used his creative skills in many ways by working as a visual graphic designer, as a art director. He also had a creative studio that he managed. And in 2015, he moved to Miami and attended Art Basel, where he decided that he wants to be a full-time artist and dedicate his life to inspiring people to do what they love. Honestly, that is incredible.
Thank you.
I think we can talk about this right off the bat. Why do people don't do what they love?
Well, it's a beautiful question, because like a lot of people just have a fear that they're not going to be successful and financially, I guess, stable enough, to continue doing what they really love and what they're really passionate about, because they're not like they have this kind of fear, I guess, that it's not going to bring them money enough, to support themselves or support their family. And like 86% of people in the United States, unfortunately, not doing what they love.
86?
86% of people like are working on a job that they hate, and or not really satisfied, And I mean, this statistic was like maybe like 5 years ago when I started, like 7 years ago. So maybe I hope that this statistic like changed a little bit and like maybe it's like less people, but still it's a big amount. It's like a majority of people in the United States, and we're talking about only United States. I'm not talking about the whole world. Whole world, I think it's even worse, right? Like the statistic, but
in less fortunate economical.
Right. So yeah, and like what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to be like an example, if you wish, or just do my best to show people, no, you guys, you can, just believe in yourself, do what you love, and trust universe, and everything will work out for you. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be fast, but you're going to be like a feeling happy and joy, and you're going to be feeling purpose of your life if you really doing what you love. And eventually people and opportunities will come, and your life will change, and you will be living your best life ever, because you was following your dream, you following your passion, and you didn't give up.
How did your dream start? Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
So like I grew up in Vladivostok City. So, and my father, he's Ukrainian, my mom, she's Russian, and my mom, she's an artist as well. And I remember myself, she was my first inspiration, first teacher in art, and she was like really gave me this taste of beauty, and like I don't know how to describe it, but like because of her,
taste of beauty.
Yeah, it's like everything is like, how you look, how like car design, how building, like architecture, like landscape, graphic design, art, paintings, everything is in art. So, and you can start seeing it, beauty in every piece of creation, and start appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she gave me this spark, I guess, and later on, I mean, like I was always in visual art, like I was always creating something, painting something, sculpture, modeling, uh,
Oh,
photography,
modeling too.
everything.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like, and I have my vision when I was a kid. I was like seeing myself as an graphic designer mostly, and that's why. And I was like very passionate about computer science, and I was really like instead of spending my time like outside of the room, I was like sitting at home in front of computer and trying to draw something in like a Photoshop and like
How old were
Illustrator.
you again?
I was 13, 15. Like I mean, like from like I got my first PC like when I was 13,
Mm-hmm.
and like it took me about 2 years to stop playing games and start like self-educated. Like, and I was trying to code. I tried to uh, like read the books and how to draw things, how to change the photos and videos. Like I was passionate about like all these technologies, and yeah, I spent a lot of time on it, like many hours, days, years, I guess, of
Super
just
unusual for a 13-year-old.
yeah, like all my friends was like playing soccer, like and like doing things outside, and I was just like sitting at home, and again like it was just a passion about computer science, and yeah, I think that I can create on computer. And after then I start like offering my services as a graphic designer to like first it was friends of my parents and like some neighbors, like, and I start making them websites, and like the first website that I built, it was 1996, I guess, or something like that. So it's like pretty like people in that time like not really was sure if they need a website, like, so you need to explain them and educate them first, like that the website is kind of very important for your business, and it's can help you to um, grow your business if you wish. um, and after then I start thinking like how can I improve my skills as a web designer,
Yeah.
and I found um, like advertising at the newspaper, local newspaper, about our like there is a institute like of art that offering these skills, web designers, that this is
You found it yourself?
yeah, like
Okay, so you didn't have
accidentally
any
kind of.
like mentors or anybody directing you?
No, not really. My father was saying like like don't waste time on it. Like he wasn't really supportive and believing in me. Unfortunately, my mom, she was opposite. She was like go get education, go get like do your thing. So she was my biggest supporter.
How did you know what to look for?
I did not know how to look for it. I just felt it. Like I just felt this is feels right, like in the bottom of my heart, like I was feeling this is what I really enjoying to do, and I didn't like really even think in that way, like how I'm describing right now. I'm just like it was a kind of intuition, like in beginning, because like I wasn't like really conscious when I was young, right?
Yeah,
Like as a teenagers, like
your frontal lobe is still developing.
right. So like I was just like I guess like it was just I was maybe guided by some source of energy, or like because again like the way how things happen in my life, it was very like accidentally, like nothing is accident, right? But it's really cool, like when I remember myself like when I opened newspaper and I found this like like the special block of the advertising describing exactly what I want to learn. And like at that time no one in my city was teaching how to do web design, only this one particular art institute. So I attend there, and I was working daily, not daily, after studies, like after morning, like after 2 p.m. I was coming to work and work as a graphic designer for the company, and this is how I was paying my education, like so I was spending like the half of the day at the institute, and after that I was going to work and stay there till late night to pay my bills, pay my education.
So you didn't have the...
No, my parents, like, and my family, like, unfortunately wasn't be able to support me in this way.
Or fortunately.
Or fortunately, yeah. I mean, I still like to see like how amazing some of my friends' lives and easier in a way when their parents can like really provide them like not only their love but also financial support to make their life a little bit more easier, I guess. I don't like to say it easy, but like to get
like a step up,
like, you know, like a boost a little bit, like in the beginning, so they don't need to go struggle and like go through all these challenges that some people have to.
Do you have to struggle to be a good artist?
Absolutely, yeah. Like,
can you have an amazing life and still make it big in the art world
without struggling? I feel like everybody is different, like everybody's journey is different. Again, like if somebody was born in super lovely and amazing supporting family, so they don't need to know what the struggle is, and they can just be a beautiful artist and create whatever they want to create without this experience. And some people need it, like, so there is no like kind of comparison, like everybody is again like a very different, and the most important what you get in the end, like what's kind of creation you produced, and if it made with love or not.
So you are in your early 20s.
Yeah.
You are going to school and you work as a graphic designer second half of the day.
Yeah.
What time would you go to sleep and what time did you wake up?
Like I was waking up at like I believe 7:30 to get ready to school and everything, and I was going to like I was sometimes I was staying at work like at the whole night, like because like I could not, like I need to finish some tasks, and I was learning also, like I wasn't like as fast as I like now, you know, so like I was still studying and learning things. So I remember myself like sleeping in the office a few times, maybe not a few times, maybe multiple times, and it was amazing experience. I never complained. I was like happy because like I was enjoying my life, you know, even though it was challenging, but it was so much fun to work with professionals who like amazing artists, art directors, photographers, copywriters. Like it was creative agency, and that moment I realized, okay, one day I want to open my own agency. I want to own my own creative agency and create beautiful marketing campaigns and beautiful things for different clients around the world and different brands. And I remember the thought when I was like maybe like 19, I guess, or like 18. Like I create my first or my company like when I was 26, I believe, or 27. So it took me for a while to you know, to develop all my skills and also opportunities. Also, you know, without one client who I was working as a freelancer, like I was helping one of my friends. She was open her magazine, and she was looking for a company or small agency who can help her design needs for on a monthly basis, like a retain content. And she said like, hey, we have a budget monthly, and said that's perfect. Like so I found the people, I found the office, I brought everybody together, and because of her I could make it happen, you know. Without this client in my life,
wow, so she,
yeah,
would it be fair to say that she is one person who changed your life?
One of them. Like there's many, there was so many people who changed my life like that, you know, like magic. Please, por favor, go down, go down, go down, baby, go down, Go down.
He is the second being that changed your life. She is the second.
Yeah, she is my like everything. Like she is the best investment that I like have in my life, and I got her. This is my first dog, and I got her like 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago. He in Miami also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, pets are amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if we deserve them.
Definitely, we deserve them. Like
Yeah.
if we are human, if we're good human being, we definitely deserve them.
Do you still keep in touch with that person?
Yeah, on Instagram. I mean, that she doesn't really know how important like she was in my life and at that moment, but I kept her in mind all the time. And one day I want to, like, she's in Moscow, and I want to, like, like I'm working on a book right now, for example, right? And in this book, I'm describing all these key factors that help me to achieve what I achieve, or who helped me to become who I became.
Mm-hmm.
So I like dedicate some of the like words and to these people, and she one of them, of course. So she's gonna be in the book, and it's gonna be a surprise for her, I guess,
Wow.
when she will figure out how important she was again to.
Unless she watches this.
Unless she watches this episode, right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible. Now you are in the US.
Yeah.
When did you move to the US?
I moved to United States in 2011.
What was your first impression of the art scene in the United States? How were you introduced to the arts in America? Your first introduction?
I met a beautiful person, and she inspired me and supported me, and she was my provider to the art scene in United States. She was an artist. She is an artist still, and at that moment she was already established artist. And when I came for Basel, I met her, and we connect immediately. And because of her, I realized, okay, I can do it too. Like she was my inspiration.
She's definitely going in the book.
Absolutely, she like on the third page, like she like literally like on the third page. Yeah.
That's awesome. What was the maybe one or two things that really surprised you about artists in America compared to artists back home?
So in beginning, when I came to United States, I was still running my creative agency, right? So I was painting as a hobby, like all my life, but mostly for myself, for my friends, never for sale, right? So
really,
yeah. So like again, like I was like, I like start being full-time artist only when I moved to Miami, and only when I met this beautiful person, and only when I believe in myself and started, okay, I'm gonna be like an artist, and I'm gonna go through all artistic journey myself.
Right. You know how often I come across people that have kids with, let's just be honest, sometimes mediocre art, yet they have this innate belief that they can still sell the art. Whereas from my experience, and I want to know from your experience, when you are either in Russia or any of the countries of the post-Soviet Union space, the thought of selling your art doesn't really come to mind until you're like a big name. Would you agree with that? Because as a kid here, I think it's only natural that you can think of yourself, or your parents will tell you, hey, you can sell it. But in Russia, honestly, I've had a lot of artists in my school, but I never even thought that they can sell their work as kids. So why did you never want to sell your artwork when you were a kid, when you started painting?
Nobody told me that. Like nobody told me like I can, like again, like we have like in general we have this kind of belief that artists like it's hard to sell the art, and it's true. However, I don't know, like I never have even the thought when I was in Russia like that, like I can try to make money from my.
So it never even crossed your mind?
No. And I was like doing it like all my life, but only like as a hobby again, like just for my friends, for my family members, as a gift to decorate my walls, just to release it and express myself as an artist, because digital art is beautiful,
Yeah.
but I really like to work with paint and touch something and put it on a wall. Yeah, and when I came to United States first, um, I I was surprised how graphic design is not compared to like a Russian artists and Russian graphic designers and web designers, especially like it was like not, I would say, I don't want to say good enough, I don't want to I just want to kind of express that our Russian designers or Ukrainian designers were more
Had different standards, perhaps.
professional and way beyond the what I saw in the United States. So it's like we
Also,
have-
the graphic art that you've seen in the United States
was,
compared to the one that you're used to
Yeah.
in Russia and
we were making more beautiful things at that moment.
Wow.
We were like 10, 15 years ahead of the United States art. Yeah, like graphic art.
Just graphic art.
Yeah.
What would be an example of that, if you can think of something?
Like anything, like at that moment you can you can open any big websites of like starting from Bank of America website and like any corporation or big brand, and you will see how bad UI UX design, how they doesn't have understanding about like a mobile apps, adjustive design, or just graphic design in general. You can see it like right away comparing what we done or what like Russian artists and Russian graphic designers and Ukrainians like are doing at that moment. Like in 2011 we was like creating the so beautiful things like for the clients around the world, and when I came to the United States I was like surprised how poor their web design is. And I was like, wow, guys, like seriously, you started internet, you really
Yeah.
like it start from you, and you like gave up or not really care, I feel like they create something in 2000 and they fine with that, like they don't feel the needs to update it often and trying to make it better and better and better every year. Now things a little bit changed in a good way, but still I believe like the Russians Ukrainian school, the best graphic design school like in the world.
Belarus as well.
Belarus as well, yeah, of course, yeah, like all like all Soviet Union schools, yeah.
Where do you think this level of excellence coming from?
I think
Is
it's
it because we're too hard on ourselves?
one of the reason, also because like it was like a very, we have to like in Russia we have to survive and we have to be best of the best of the best, so it's like it was very competitive space where we were doing our best to create something beautiful. And here in the United States, right, people was like not really motivated because their life is less hard for them, so they don't need to like go what we have to go through to again to improve themselves all the time.
So would you agree with the statement that UX designers, graphical designers from Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, or post-Soviet Union countries are so good at what they do because they're motivated by they need to survive?
Yeah, one of the reasons, absolutely. Survive and maybe even escape, like because like if you always improve your skills, eventually like with this portfolio you can get any job around the world and escape your country or your city, that or like I moved from Vladivostok to Moscow because again like I was like really good in my city, right, like, and I was seeing my
The city became too small for you.
kind of like I was like seeing my like billboards that I created, like different like.
Whoa, that must have been incredible.
That's a
To
good.
see a billboard you created.
That's kind of yeah, give you like this kind of joy of like one of the reasons why you're doing it also, right? Like you're not only because like you like it, not because people appreciate it and they pay you for that, but also you can see it and you can enjoy it, and you also can like see how what you created helps somebody else to make money from their businesses. Like like so you create beautiful logotype for the I remember so many things. Like one of that was a cell carrier. Like I created the logo and the whole campaign for them, and they became number one in my hometown. Like the cell carrier, right? So,
what did your father say when he saw the billboard in the city that you created?
We didn't speak too much, honestly. Like it wasn't still like until I moved to Moscow, until I started like money, and like he felt like that's when he felt proud of me, and he felt okay, like we reboost and reset our relationship. So like it was a time when we didn't speak too much and shared, like it wasn't really close connection, and I was happy about it. I didn't feel like, because like my father, he's tough, and when I moved and separated from like his family and create my own life, and that's where he really saw me as a human. I don't know, like he was like, okay, I'm proud of your son,
now you accomplished something.
Exactly, like so in his eyes, like I like
not the typical American son, I love you no matter what you do.
No,
which is very common,
that, like,
super common to whether you're artists or you do something else. In the post-Soviet Union space, parents don't say good job or
I'm proud of you or I love you. It's not really common thing. I mean, now it's different, right? Like I really feel like people like my age, our age, like new generation, I would say, like they raise the kids as I would raise my kids, like with love, compassion, like support, and belief in them.
So I understand now that when you look at the way you were raised, and it wasn't necessarily bad in any way, it was just not as compassionate as you would see here in America. Now you have a different view of how kids should be raised. You want to raise them with compassion and love, but that also means that they might not go through the hardships that you went through, and those hardships is what made you who you are and gave you the ability to come from arguably a very small city to come to the center, the art center of the world.
Well, I think again, like we don't need to project our experience, especially bad experience, to our kids. Like yes, it helped us to made us, like, and became who we are. All these challenges in our life, but they're gonna have their own challenges. They're gonna have their own life, and who knows what's gonna happen? What's gonna what's they gonna be going through? So I don't think we need to rate them with this, create them additional challenges. If from our past or from our experience, because like we went through that. I think like we just need give them like our love, support, and help them to become the best version of themselves. And hopefully it's gonna work out. I mean, like I believe, like I really believe it's gonna work out. This is right way to raise the kids. Yeah.
Okay, before we go into the pictures, I would like to ask you a very simple question.
Okay.
What is art?
Art is everything. Like I believe that everything that's made up with love, it's an art. So doesn't matter what you do. Like, are you doing like makeup? It's an art. Are you dressed up? It's an art. Are you singing? Are you writing? Are you creating videos? Are you creating a business? Are you raising a child? Everything is an art. If it comes with love, yeah, that's simple as that.
The 20th century philosopher Theodor Adorno famously said that all art is an uncommitted crime. What he meant was simply that, by its true nature, art challenges the status quo. Throughout history, artists have reacted against oppression, violence, injustice, and inequalities. They have stood up for the voiceless and marginalized. Protest art, which is a form of art, challenges traditional boundaries, hierarchies, and rules imposed by those in power. It's an act of defiance. Art can make a message accessible and universal. I'd like to show you a few paintings and get your initial thoughts.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one. I'm going to put it on the screen. What do you feel when you look at this painting?
Like every art, every painting has a story, and you need to really know the contents about like what time it was created, who was created, why he created. So you really need to see the whole picture to really understand and appreciate it. And because like what we're looking on it right now, it can be just like our personal opinion about the colors, about like a dynamic, about the strokes, about the style, you know. But we won't understand what artists try to say by this painting without knowing the context, right? So that's why like I can just tell like again my subjective opinion about it, and it's hard to like I'm almost never criticize anyone works. Like I cannot say I don't.
So you rather know a little bit about the artist and why they created this,
and like what period of time he created it, what he was going through.
What period of time?
Yeah, so it's like it's a very important.
I don't think anybody actually thinks about that when they go through the museum and look at the arts, because it can tell you everything you need to know. But at the same time, others will argue, well, you don't need to know about the artist, because the role of the arts is to invoke certain feelings in you without any guidance or any context.
It's not a guidance, it's just like the whole picture. It's kind of judging a book by the cover. You know, like you see the cover and you can say you like it or not like it. You resonate with the colors or with the illustration, with the naming or not. But to understand the whole book, you need to read it.
Right.
You know, you need to read it, and then you can, that's why they illustrated, like the illustration on the cover was like this particular thing. Otherwise, you can just like just say it because of your experience or your previous
Trauma or hardships or
everything, like
conditioning.
So
this piece is by Jacob Lawrence. He captured the journeys of millions of African Americans who left the Jim Crow South in search of better lives elsewhere.
Now you see, like when you say that, like it makes completely sense. Otherwise, it's just a crowd of people going through some like different doors to different states, right? Cities. And
it's like a train station,
right? And you can like I say, okay, this is like probably 19th century, and that's it. Like, you know, like you don't see the people faces, you don't see people like emotions. They just going through, like they're trying to get on a train or get on the, like this is the way to these cities, but without knowing the like again the content. You're like, yeah, it's just a crowd of people in the dark colors, in very simple shapes and forms.
Let's go into the next one. It
Yeah.
has a little sign.
Yeah.
It says silence. I'm going to put it on the screen. Silence equals death. Fight AIDS, act up. So this one tells you a little bit about this painting.
Yeah.
Based on the sign. Have you seen this one before?
I know the artist. I don't remember this particular one, but yeah, I love it.
This one is by Keith Haring. He turned art into a weapon in the war against AIDS.
Yeah.
Haring's art forced people to talk about AIDS. So this is a very good example of someone turning art into a accessible vessel of information.
Mhm.
You look at the picture, you immediately understand what it's
Yeah.
about. But B, forcing entire communities to talk about this problem.
Mhm.
A lot of people will say art is not meant for that. Art is not meant to address political issues.
Mhm. Different people have a different opinions, and some people like really like very traditional art, like 19th centuries oil painters and all this stuff, and some people like a simple contemporary art that really touch their emotions because they talk about what happened now or happened not recently, like not long time ago, so they can resonate with that and say, yeah, like it's about politics, it's about what we're facing in, or what humanity going through right now. So, and the artist trying to say it through his art. So different people has different opinions. Somebody like it, somebody don't. Somebody saying like you don't have to touch religious politics and other like very sensitive topics at your art. And some people like it doing it because of they cannot not doing it. They have the purpose to say it through their art, if either it's like a performance or paintings or a book or like a statement on YouTube. It's also
so I'm gonna tell you what this one is.
mhm.
In 1998, Portuguese-born artist Paulo Rego protested abortion rights in Portugal in a series of powerful images. Each canvas depicted the image of a woman undergoing an unsafe abortion. And it also says, in turn, after being exhibited, this is key, her work is stated to have been integral in changing public opinion. Wow.
Yeah.
How does art do that? How does art actually change? Because it's not a tangible thing. You can't really measure people's opinions. But how does art change people's opinions?
So artists for many years was one of their influencers, if I would say, like and speak about the subjects that nobody else can speak in the form and shapes, like sometimes directly showing the problem, and sometimes like a different, like they're trying to hide the meaning and in shapes and forms. But like when you know what is it about, like the first painting that you showed me, right, like about the immigration and
escaping the Jim Crow South.
yeah, right. So like so it's been like for like decades, I think, or from beginning of the time when artists trying to point it out some issues or some problems in our society and try to solve it somehow, what with like in a way that they can, by like by showing them to public. And it's just like one of the easiest form to showcase a problem, I guess, to point it, because if you just write it down and send it like letters to everyone,
No one's gonna read it.
Nobody's gonna read it, right? Like it's gonna
in
be
the world of TikTok,
right. It's gonna be like different approach. But when you create something and people like seeing it and they resonate with it in a different level, and then they read the story behind this painting and they're like, wow, we really should like stop using like, I don't know, killing animals, or like help kids in Africa, or like all these problems that we are going through as a humans right now, like can be solved by community, by people, and artists just trying to do the best that they can to help make the change in the world, and make the world a better place.
Let's go on to the next one.
Okay.
First, I'm curious what you think of this photograph.
Oh, I think it's a protest of like, I think it's activism, right? Like it's contemporary activism, and they like probably against of like killing someone. It's like a stop, maybe they're trying to stop a war, maybe they're trying to stop killing maybe animals again. And
This photo
there's-
was
yeah, I see the money. I see the red T-shirts that represent the blood, I guess. So yeah, tell me.
So this photo was taken by Nan Golden. He led a die-in exhibition at London's V&A Museum. The action was a part of her campaign to stop British and American cultural organizations accepting donations and sponsorships from the Sackler Trust, who are the family behind the pharmaceutical company that made the addictive opioid painkiller Oxycontin. According to the national statistics, almost every fifth person is affected by the opioid crisis. One of the reasons I know that is because after looking at this picture, I looked her up.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see the art is working on my mind.
Exactly.
And making me want to look information up.
Yeah.
So, but art is not just paintings or photos, right? Yeah. It's also songs. I want to send you 3 different Instagram links and listen to something together.
Okay.
Actually, I really like the first one.
Okay.
I don't fully understand Ukrainian because growing up in post-Soviet Union, Ukrainian was considered as a rudimentary language. I made a video on my page a few weeks ago explaining why I know how to say I love you in Ukrainian, because in my school it was considered one of the funniest way to say I love you.
Wow.
It's a downgraded version of Я тебя люблю. And I'm very, very much ashamed by how it was in my school, but I'm also not surprised because I never heard any classmates speak in Ukrainian. I had Ukrainian classmates, but they did not speak Ukrainian. Hell, I didn't even speak my language. Russian is my second because I was afraid that, oh, what if people will make fun of me, even outside of school. But B, I don't think I've ever seen mentions of Ukrainian culture outside of Твоя прекрасная няня, the popular show, and I think Verka Serduchka, that artist.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's Ukrainian.
I think so. Yeah.
He's Ukrainian. For someone who grew up in that world and like was a kid at that time, I moved here when I was 19. That was it. That was all I knew about Ukraine in my mind.
Yeah.
I imagine it was different for you because one of your parents is Ukrainian.
Slightly different, but very close. You know, like so, like again, like because like nobody like speak Ukrainian like from like who I know. Like I don't have any like Ukrainian like friends when I was growing up, or you know, like I didn't have like this opportunity to learn Ukrainian like when I was a kid. So back in the days, it was one people, one nation.
Yes.
Know? It was like it wasn't like really different. Like yeah, like especially like right now. But yeah, it was one people. Yeah.
So do you understand Ukrainian?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so this song I just sent you is in Ukrainian. What do you feel when you hear it?
I feel proud. I feel proud of Ukrainian country, and I feel like proud how many talented people from Ukraine like exist, and especially now they have. I mean, it's just kind of like the more and more beautiful artists express themselves and really speak about what they feeling. Yeah, like I just like I'm really amazed by all Ukrainian artists like that, like especially new artists and like new generation artists and who exist and who is like just showcasing their artworks,
Doing what they love.
doing what they love. Absolutely.
Let's go into the next one. What do you feel when you hear this? By the way, this was released in 2018.
Wow, interesting. Well, again, like this is just like is he Ukrainian?
He's Russian.
Russian, right? Okay. Um, so like he's trying to say about like what was happening, what he was. I don't want to say victim, but like he was like trying to just like highlights the problem that he can see what's happening in his country right now, and like there is no freedom of press. There is like that's everything controlled by government and so on. So like he was pretty much saying what everybody was feeling, and like not everybody, but a lot of people was like understanding that the Russia is going to like down. They're going to the dictator like regime or way of the politics, government.
So he's expressing what other people feel.
Yeah, and also like understand, but like again, like a majority of people cannot put it in a like artistic form and shape. They just can talk about it on the phone, in a kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yeah, just like share their like opinion, like how bad situation are, but they don't know how to what they can do, like as an individuals. So like if they're like just a manager in a store, right? Like or like if he's a worker at some like a builder constructor, right? Like what he can do, he think he doesn't have any way to point it out, and but he definitely like experiencing the same thing that this guy does, right? Like but this guy, he's okay, I know how to sing. I love to sing. I know how to make it like as a poetry, like I make it sounds appealing for people. So I'm gonna just tell what I feel and what I'm like thinking about and share with people. And a lot of people resonate with this, and a lot of people, okay, wow, yeah, this is what this definitely like happening, and maybe it's changed somebody's lives, this song, in the back in the days. Maybe it's somebody like
mine.
Right.
It really got me through some hard times.
Exactly.
MC, that song, нам говорят. I want to go on the opposite spectrum of political spectrum, the opposite political spectrum. So we listen to Ukrainian artists, we listen to a Russian artist who is in opposition. I want to send you a link to someone who was, I believe he performed in Luzhniki at a concert recently on February 22nd. I might be wrong, but he has a really large following, and he is, I don't know if I should give you context before you listen to it.
Sure.
I don't want to color your opinion.
Oh, Shaman. Yeah, I heard about him. He's a propaganda artist.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
before I get your feedback, I have to share something real quick. I grew up listening to federal channels, Russian federal channels, and I'm not gonna lie. Till today, and I'm no longer a kid, when I hear a Russian artist sing or someone on the national television for research purposes, I watch a lot of news in Russian. It still invokes some sort of positive feeling.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I catch myself thinking, whoa, I just to take my interviewer hat for a second, I know exactly what that propaganda is meant for, but why does it make me feel a certain way, certain positive way? That happens especially if I stumble across the number one channel, Первый канал, and I hear like the way they position their words, the way they speak, the way like, the music in the background or whatnot. I still kind of feel a part of it. And I think perhaps like the art of expression has such power over us that till today, it's been years since I've actually been a part of this environment, I still feel some sort of connection to it.
Triggers you.
Triggers me.
Yeah.
Triggers me in a way where I'm like, it feels almost like emotional. Not in a negative way, but you know how it's almost in a good way. I don't understand why.
Well,
Am I traumatized? Am I traumatized by the Russian media and artists?
I just think like it kind of sort of, you know, like you've been like it's understandable why it triggers you. It's understandable why it works like that for many people, not only for you, but like people like it even now, because it was built and created in this particular way to touch your heart, because you was growing up like with this culture, with this music and the way of thinking sometimes, you know, like, so we've been like brainwashed like when we were kids, and like our parents as well, and like our grand so on. So like it's understandable why why it's triggered you, but we're adults, and now we can understand what is evil, what is like light, you know. We can understand like this doesn't serve good things, even though it triggers you as a, because like it's just psychology, you know. It's just a part of the human nature. But you understand, okay, these people who was on a movie, on a clip right now, they was like work for government, they work for propaganda, they trying to.
I felt some sort of emotion. Like I felt a little emotional listening, especially to the lady when she started singing.
It's beautiful voices, it's beautiful production, it's beautiful sounds, everything is on a high level of production and execution, but it doesn't mean like, you know, it's they trying to solve the problem, or they're trying to help people, or they're trying to
They might
save.
argue and say that they are helping Russian people.
Absolutely, this is their opinion. I'm not arguing with them. You know, like I'm just saying, like I'm like I know where, like what side I'm standing for. You know, I'm standing for stop war. You know, I'm standing for Ukrainians. I'm for freedom. I'm against Putin and government. And you know, like this is the reason why I left the Russia. I didn't mention that, but it was exactly the government and Putin. Exactly, I was like going to protests and
Look, we are
meetings.
so different. I'm Muslim. I don't know if you adhere to any religion. We look so different. But both of us left that regime.
Yeah.
Because I'm also on the side of freedom and also on the side of freedom of expression and speech. So this is incredible. You know, for people that say, oh, you are all brainwashed. People tell me that I'm getting paid by American government. Listen, I paid for this studio. No one pays me. And if they did, where's my Gucci bag? Seriously, where's my Gucci bag? But we've never met before outside of United States. And yet we were touched the same way by the atrocities that were committed towards, which is a natural feeling for people towards freedom.
Yeah.
And now we're here. So we have the opportunity to be exposed to different people and have different opinions, freedom of speech, yada yada. But are we still in some way are coping with that trauma of, having that same triggers?
Mm-hmm.
For people that are not in our seats,
Mm-hmm.
where do they start? Specifically in the topic of art, how can art heal them and help them to see that, they deserve better, that freedom is not so unattainable, that is there anything specific that they can do in like day to day? I know not everyone can move outside of Russia or other dictatorships. What would you suggest?
I would suggest like just be open-minded. Like first of all, be open-minded and always self-educate. Self-improve and just try to be the best version of yourself every day, even though you're in tough situation, maybe or tough city, tough country, and you want to. But if this person already if he is or she open-minded and understanding what is good, what is bad, he eventually or she will try to find a way to improve the environment. And if they can't, they cannot leave this environment for the better place, because we live only once. And we want to be happy. We deserve to be happy. And if this environment where they are right now doesn't bring them they don't feel they belong there anymore, they might need to start thinking how to make a move and find a place where they feel better. Maybe it's in different city or different country, and the universe will guide them. The universe will help them, or God will help them to find a way to escape, if you wish, or improve the environment.
Wait, something you said. They deserve to be happy. It's such a simple concept, but I don't think a lot of people really have the strength to believe that they deserve to be happy. I didn't know that. Although I had this feeling that there's something out there that I should not be going through so much pain. They should not make fun of me because I'm Muslim. They should not attack me physically because I'm Muslim or because I speak my language. But I think knowing what happiness is, it's almost a privilege. Being able to taste that. Remember going back to what your mom said. She helped you to taste the beauty. And being able to taste the freedom is a luxury, because unless you know what it tastes like, how do you know to long for it and to want it and to try to make an effort and become a better person so you can have it? I think I really like what you said about just believing, even though you don't know what freedom looks like, you don't even it's in your wildest dreams, but believing that universe or God will guide you and give you the power to see beyond the hardships is what's going to make your journey successful. Feel free to not answer this, but what role has God played in your journey or the universe?
Well, everything, like, just God have different shape and form, and to show like his support or love or guidance, through different people. Again, like the people who was helping me on my journey was also guided by God or universe, or maybe he was in their body, at that moment to help me out in some case, or give me some thought, give me some idea, give me some opportunity. And then he left to do his own things, right? Or I don't know how exactly it works, but this is what I feel, So God is everything, and we are also gods in a different shape and forms. So it's we, like, me now, like I think we all one, like, this concept. So like it's a one big conscious energy.
I love that. I want to send you a few clips, if that's okay, and gain your thoughts on that. We have about 30 minutes left, so I'm just gonna go through a few clips and then do a rapid fire questions, and then we're done. So let's start with, who do I have here? Okay, so let's talk about Russian artists.
Okay.
There's two camps right now.
Is it you?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, my friend, she knows I like
it's like
that kind of jewelry.
What kind of jewelry is it? It's
She-
not rings. Is it rings?
It's so you put it like this.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, she custom made it for me.
Cool.
So when it comes to Russian artists,
Yeah.
we have two camps right now. We have people like Tatiana Lazareva, Makarevich, Simfira, Boris Grebenshikov, Oxymoron. Those people left Russia.
Yeah.
Some of them are doing volunteer work and helping Ukrainians. Others creating music and new songs to support Ukrainians. There is also in between. There are more neutral. But we have a second camp. So I want to send you videos, and my apologies in advance. I know this is a sensitive topic, especially since yesterday was a year since the war started. So if at any point you feel like you don't want to comment on any of the videos, please let me know.
Thank you.
You went to protests last night. I saw some of your stories. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was so many people, like 1,360 people attempt yesterday.
That place, I went to that place last year. This the first week of the war when it started. It's a small place.
Yeah, it's like not even a place, kind of. It's just like a kind of almost just a few. Yeah, I don't know how but like it was amazing. Like to feel all these people and energy and support and music and it was very like union. You feel like you like. I've been on all, like I think I've been on all protests since the war started. Like I maybe missed just once, but it was. I mean, like yesterday was special. I don't know why. why it was special, but like it was really special because maybe because of the how many amazing people was there.
So you used some of the adjectives that we use to describe art, beautiful and etc. Is actual protesting a form of art?
Definitely, absolutely.
How so?
Well, at the people was making some art with them, like to again like as a posters, as flags or like special items to bring people attention to what's happening. So it's like a visual art, like it's not only stand there and say save Ukraine, support Ukraine, but also like they was making some visual like art, I would say, or collages to okay, this is like what's happening right now with Bucha, or like they killing people, they like all these things. So why it's not art, because it's not in Louvre, because it's not in museum. No, it's still an art, like somebody made it like as an artist, like as a different artist that you showed me before, to showcase the problem about the abortion, about the like immigrants, like or about like some AIDS or something. So this is another, it was made by like a 3 years or 10 years old kid, but why it's not an art, maybe she is going to be an artist, like a famous artist in 10-15 years, so, and this is her first art creation. Who knows who's judges, why we should even judge, like it's just a way of bring people attention to the problem.
I sent you a video.
Okay.
Hopefully you received it.
Та истерия, которая происходит в Европе и в Америке, видно, на что она направлена, и для чего все это сделано, и как расшатано все общество, особенно в Украине. Если говорить о демократии, какая там демократия?
This is Baskov.
Yeah, it's Singer, right?
Singer.
Yeah. So the artists who stayed in Russia and who on the government side or like Putin side, they either very paid, they were supported by government to say that with money.
So they financially,
right? Or some of them brainwashed, and some of them both brainwashed by like First Channel and propaganda media, and also supported by government to say what they're saying. I don't feel they like. Again, like I don't know how to comment it, because like this is what I know a little bit again, but I don't want to like I don't see any evidence, any proofs, but like my intuition was telling me that's like they like affiliated by government, to say what they're saying, because they have concerts, they have different venues to.
So if the artist is told by the government what to say, doesn't it contradict the whole freedom of expression for an artist?
Is it? And they are artists, but they doesn't serve a good cause. They serve like their own ego and materialistic things, such as money. So like they made the choice, okay, we're gonna stay in Russia, we're gonna support the government, we're gonna support war, we're gonna take money from government to live their best life, And this is their choice, and like my choice is do not listen to them and do not support them anyhow in any way.
Should we respect the choice?
It's a tough question. I don't know how to answer that. Like, it's their life. It's their.
Do you want to move to the next one? Okay. We talked about people that influenced you and changed your life. But if you were to answer this, who would be that one person who changed your entire life?
Miss Freya Tokareva, an artist, amazing artist who I met in 2015 in Miami.
Wow. What is the most painful thing that you've ever been told?
I wish you never been born.
Ooh. Finish off this sentence. I miss.
My family.
Me too. Finish off this sentence. I wish I
I can make a positive impact into the world.
What is the purpose of life?
To be happy, to feel joy, and create, and share love,
And do what you love.
and do what you love. Do what you love. It's just a part of the process, you know. Like you cannot be truly happy and live your fullest life without doing what you really love. Because money, it's not everything, you know. It's like you need to find something that really drives you and motivates you and give you a purpose while you're living.
So you're saying money is not everything.
Yeah.
I want to share something with you. So this is a tweet I posted on my Twitter account, and it got a lot of shares, comments, good and bad. Okay. People say money doesn't buy happiness. Money buys you a $1,000 plane ticket to see your mom who is across the pond at a minute notice. Money lets you have breakfast, lunch, dinner with your kids whenever you feel like it. Having choices is happiness. Money gives choices. Do you agree to this or disagree?
I agree, absolutely, yeah. But you need to also understand what what you're willing to sacrifice to have this money. You know, like, are you willing to work on a job that you hate? You know, like for the many years to be able to get a ticket. You know, or maybe are you willing to, I don't know, like do prostitution, for example, right? To make some money, or do drugs, dealers, whatever things like illegal, or killing like animals, I don't know, people, whatever. So like it's like really depends on what you're willing to sacrifice by in your life.
Can you have both? A lot of money and happiness?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. If you do what you love, money will come. Eventually money will come.
I love it.
And you'll be happy, and you'll be like, you know, successful.
And you'll be flying on your private jet
Absolutely.
to see your mom.
Why not?
What is freedom?
Freedom. It's a choice. It's a choice, and inner choice of inside of yourself. Yeah, it's something that's like you have it in your body, in your heart, and comes like all freedom comes from that. You
Yeah.
know?
That's beautiful. I think that's important for people to know and be reminded of, that you don't have to look elsewhere to find that seed of freedom
It's in you. Yeah.
and start developing it.
Yeah.
It's actually very liberating, because then in that case, I don't have to always think that, oh, until this happens or that happens, or until this person tells me this, or yeah, you just start within, because that's where it is. I love that. And I hope this is a good reminder to a lot of people that are struggling in life, whatever they are, that you already have that. I have a mindset coach, Laura St. John. Hey, Laura. She, one of the most incredible people that I've met last year, and she mentioned something very similar. She said that you have everything that you need already inside of you. Honestly, at first I was like,
What do you mean?
if I had everything I already had, why would I come to you or to somebody else? Like, I need you to like show me the way.
She needs you to just remind you that you have it. You know, she is in your life to just remind you and say, hey, you are enough, you are beautiful, you are like loved, you're supported, you have everything in you that you need to be the happiest and best version of yourself and help other people to improve their lives.
Absolutely. And as simple as that, you need reminders. You need to have people like Laura St. John or the artist that you met in Miami, your mom. You always need that one person in your life who will remind you of the things that you can accomplish. How do you feel about watching those videos?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that.
Мне не было стыдно, что я гражданин России. Искренне считаю, что у нас лучшая в мире страна.
Okay. What's the question about him? He is again one of the propaganda team, like a Putin team of influencers who try to give people illusion of we're doing the right thing, like we are like what we're doing in Ukraine or what we're doing inside of a country. It's a good thing because we are the best and we like just trust us, but people with brain, people with open mind, they're not gonna resonate with that. Like they're gonna just guys, you just making money and that's it.
One thing I am so confused about Timothy is his art and his political position. Because if you think about it, Timothy, what kind of songs does he sing? Most of his repertoire is based on the works of famous black artists. He has a huge Airbnb, hip hop, and rap influence in his work.
Yeah.
And we know very well how the roots of that branch of art. It came from expressing the injustice, finding peace in freedom of expression. And yet, the very art that he represents is also as a vessel. Some might say, I have to be impartial, but some would say that is the vessel to be a part of the propaganda machine. Like, how does he not have a cognitive dissonance? Like, when your art, like, he had to research the context, right? Going back to what we were saying about the context is everything in art.
Yeah.
He had to research the struggles of the black rappers and the culture and to understand what is he inspired by, because otherwise is he just bluntly using other people's culture?
Yeah, I think he understand. I think he did his research in the beginning of his career, but now he is so big as a hip hop artist in Russia that he can do whatever he wants, and he's just again, he doesn't really think about how you think this way. He doesn't do any analysis. He just I can do that because I have a contract. I have this amount of money, and I can support the war. I can support whatever he wants to, and in the form and shape that he can create, such as R&B or rap music, right? So it's sad, but it's I don't it's I don't think we he thinking like you thinking right now. He just doing what he wants.
Is this inevitable for someone when they become a huge artist like him to put aside the initial purpose of why they started?
It's everybody's own choice, it's a freedom of choice. Are you willing to betray yourself? Are you willing to say things that you maybe not really even believe, but because of the money or because of the other things? So everybody's different, and some people cannot betray themselves and they leave the country and they doing the right things, what they think right to do.
Like oxymoron.
Exactly. And some just doesn't care.
And the last video is...
Oh, that's the tough. I really loved his one of his movie when I was a kid.
Which one?
It's called Thief. Have you heard about Vor? No. like it's about after Second World War time, like in 1950s, and he was a thief. He was like stealing people's things, like in different.
The character in the movie, or
Yeah, and the characters in the movie, and he met a girl, and she has a boy, like a son, and he became he tried to raise him as a good person, and like it's like an amazing story, amazing movie. I really encourage you to watch it. And like when I was a kid, I was like really enjoying this movie a lot. And when I see him now, when I see what he's saying right now, and what side of war he's standing for, it's make me feel like very like sad and upset, because like when Baskov or Timothy or so many other artists um, supported Putin, like I wasn't surprised. I was not feel anything, like yeah, like I knew guys, like I never was your fan, kind of. But he, like like he was like a really beautiful, amazing, talented artist and actor, and he just again brainwashed. I really feel like he's like he is believing in what he was saying.
So it's not the case with, say, Timothy, where he gets paid and
right. I think
he's
really like standing for like his country, what he believes in. He supported Putin. It's just but again, I really believe it's big role of it. It's like mass media and propaganda, So it's like the information that he choose to observe, make him say what he's saying, and believe what he's saying.
Do you think not knowing English has a role in this?
Maybe, but like in the beginning, like in 2011, I didn't know English, but like I felt like it's something wrong with my country.
Really?
Yeah, I did not get information from like abroad the country, but I was following Navalny, I was following like some independent journalists, and I was seeing where my country going to, and I said no, I did my best. I went to protests like in Mayakovskaya, and like a few times I got arrested, like I was like try to do my best, and when I understood I cannot fight with this machine by myself, and like I'm gonna be I don't want to live in this country. I don't want to raise my family here. I don't want to make a business here. I have to start thinking where else can I apply my skills and my talent, and where I can feel like happy and peace beside Russia. So English, of course, in nowadays is like helps you a lot to get the full picture from different sources, but it's not like a critical, like you have to. You still can be
form an opinion,
exactly.
Be informed without knowing English.
Yeah.
While it's loading, you mentioned Navalny. I've been watching his content as well as other political leaders who are in the opposition, like Lyubov Sobol, Maria Pevchik. Lately, I've been watching a lot of Yuri Dudes. Arguably, they're not artists, or we should say they are not artists by every standard, but they are creating content. They are informing people, and they are also changing people's opinions, public opinion. I mean, it makes me think it's art.
It is an art. Like I told you in the beginning, everything in art. Like if you really started digging deeply, like you understand, like everything is an art. Everything, how you speak, how you hug, how you kiss, how you eat, how you breathe, how you dress up, how you make any sort of creation. Either it's like an article, either it's like how you wash your dishes in art, like how you like everything in art. like you
Even
just
washing dishes?
you can do it like with like whatever, and leave some like some dust, some dirt, you know, and it's like whatever, it doesn't matter, like doesn't matter, like it, like nobody will see it, like, if you wash it for someone, for example, right? Or even for yourself, like I don't care, like you, if you doesn't love yourself enough, you're gonna keep your dishes not clean enough, you know, like whatever, it doesn't, like we already live in unperfect, unsafe world. This doesn't like kill me, you know, and you can leave some sort of the bacteria on your plate, right? Or you can like do your best and make sure it's beautiful, and you can place it in a beautiful spot, not just randomly
Yeah.
keep it on your like kitchen somewhere. So how you like everything.
When you mentioned like putting things in a nice way, like the plates, the dishes that you just described, I remembered something. So I finished Austrian finishing school remotely, that teaches women social, business, dining etiquette, as well as guides them on how to take care of themselves, grooming, beauty, how to have mentally stimulated conversations, how to be a lady. The founder of the school, Marie Boucher, for the longest was my number one inspiration. She is, I think, about 50 years old. She looks gorgeous. She has 5 kids, successful business. And I was a student of hers. When the war started, one of the things that I was looking for, just like I mentioned with the belly dancers, I was closely watching if she's going to say something. Unfortunately, she did not. To say I was disappointed would be an understatement, because as her student, she's always mentioned this famous TV series, Downton Abbey, and how she uses that series as an inspiration for her, how to be a lady. However, in that series, there is an episode where a war broke out, and the ladies of the house of the Downton Abbey rolled up their sleeves, cleared out their living room, the area where they were entertaining people, their study as well, and made space for the wounded. Changed their outfits, no longer worried about dressing up properly for dinner, because they would change outfits very often. And in my mind, I was like, wow, when you are teaching someone to be a sophisticated person, that also comes with being compassionate in the times of need, in the times of war, and not continuing to care about what color of ribbon you're going to wear on your hat, or what dress you're going to pick, or what seminar you want to host. And honestly, I still follow her. I go to her content to turn off my brain sometimes, because I like the aesthetics of it. And that's what art does sometimes to us. It allows us to escape. But at the same time, I wish it was different. I wish that people who teach us beauty, and what she does is teach us beauty. They also teaches us that in the times of need and the hardships, show your compassion, because that's what beauty is. How can you be beautiful? And sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but how can you be beautiful and teach beauty to others if you're not compassionate to the pain of other people, especially in the war times? So I don't know how to answer that.
So I feel this is like comes from your expectation from the person, you know, and I believe like we shouldn't like put any expectation on anyone except ourselves, you know. And if she did not say anything about the war, it doesn't mean she doesn't have this compassion. It doesn't mean she doesn't like crying every night, you know, like because what's happening, like all these sad things that happening around the world, not only in Ukraine, but like just in different things. She might be like, really going through different things, but she maybe, I'm just saying, like, maybe she choose her way to inspire people and heal them by doing like, but not touching politics or not touching sensitive subjects, because it's gonna bring so much negativity maybe in her life because of different opinions people, and somebody, hey, how you can support this, and not saying anything about people in Africa, or like or like animals, or global warming problem and other things. So maybe she choose like her way to be happy and share love and save the world or heal the world in her own way. But you know what I'm saying, that's
Do you think in the time of war it's okay to be neutral?
I don't think she's I
Or
don't know her if she's neutral.
I should say not express
Yes,
opinions
it's like-
openly.
yes, I think it's okay. I mean, like, unfortunately, it's okay. I wish like we all like stand on one side and say like all out loud like stop the war, and it's gonna change the world faster. But again, like everybody's different, and some people just like cannot like or choosing to not say it out loud on a public to audience, but it doesn't mean they're like not supporting. Maybe she's supporting by like sending money to Ukrainians anonymously, and this is her way to support the.
So people watching this, some of them might say, this is unacceptable, that when the war started, you have to, especially if it's your government, you have to speak up against them.
It's everybody's own choice, like again, some people cannot do some things because they in fear. How to say?
She's definitely in fear because if I'm not mistaken, her father is Bastrikin, who is the main
like in the government.
Yeah.
So like she cannot like go against maybe because like his father. Bastrikin, really? He's his her father.
Her initial
Wow.
last name is Bastrikina,
Wow.
and I cannot 100% say with certainty that she is his daughter, but I have never seen any photos of her father or her mom anywhere in the social. And in one of our classes,
So it makes sense completely what she's not saying, what she's like, what you like waiting for her to say. She just can't. Like
she was in the military. That I remember, because before her elegance journey, she was a tomboy, and she was,
yeah,
and I don't know if that's the case.
yeah, it makes sense.
It's a tough spot. Either way, it's if the word was black and white, maybe we would have had a different conversation.
Yeah.
But when you need to make a decision for yourself, what side are you on? And it sounds like you already made that decision for yourself
From the first day.
from the first day.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were on the day when that
I
happened?
was at home. I just started like receiving the messages from my friends in Ukraine and my co-workers and my like designers, developers. I have still a team of people who I'm working with for the past 13 years now, and they're in Ukraine, and they start saying like, Sergey, like we got bombed, like we got like we hear some like it's like I couldn't believe, like I was like start receiving all these messages, and like I was like I was crying, like I couldn't believe it happening, like it was like very dark days in the beginning, especially like the first few months I stopped doing anything, like I was just all in there and try to help, and try to do my best to help my friends and family members in there. and
You still have family in
yeah,
Ukraine?
like some relatives. Yeah. So
We have 1 minute until he comes back. Do you want to watch that video or no?
oh, it's different. Who is it? Is it? It's not
Oh, that's
Mashkov.
not
It's
Mashkov.
not. It's
Sorry, that's
it's another actor.
Parichenko.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I was like, wait a second. Are we talking about the same person? Maybe I forgot. I forgot he looked like. Okay.
yeah, this one.
The last one?
Well, I'm sending this
Oh, you said
right now. I'll give you my phone.
Okay.
It will be easier. See, that's how much I am involved in the Russian art world. But I try to do my research. So this is him.
За нашего президента, за нашу родину, за победу. Мы победим!
I saw that. Like I saw it on Navalny channel. I think like the Sobol was also included in this.
What was
clip.
going through your mind when you saw that?
I really tried to not use these words as a disappointment, like. But this is very close to what I've been feeling when I saw it first time, and when I know he's supporting Putin and propaganda team. But again, like I never this is just my childhood speaking, like in me in when I was like 13, 14, like I was like, wow, he's an amazing actor, like it's not like if Oxymoron was or Zemfira or somebody like who are more related, like saying what he was saying, I've been more sad about it, but like, yeah, man, like you made your choice. I'm very sorry for you, like it's sad that like you have to make your choices, I made my choices, like who I'm surrounding myself and who is not in my circle. He is definitely no in my circle and never been in my circle anymore. And yeah, this is unfortunately.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everyone. If you want to watch other episodes, please click on the link here or here. See you in the next episode. Bye.